Hi, you're listening to the My Body, My Story podcast.
Everything was just falling apart. Even my marriage, my relationship with the kids, work.
This is the 45 over 45 chapter, where we celebrate rule breakers and role models, the women who inspire us to live life our way and to show their sensuality, beauty, soul, and true essence. Here we talk about what it's like to be 45 plus, adjusting to the changes that come with time, and we'll listen to the stories of our participants. If you have an interesting story to share, we'd love for you to participate. You can email us on info@alexandrawalker.com, and that's Alexandra spelled with a KS, or visit our website alexandrawalker.com.
Hi Adriana, welcome to our studio and welcome to our project 45 over 45, My Body, My Story. And let's start our conversation while you're sitting in the makeup chair and having your makeup and hair done. And tell us a bit about yourself.
Yeah, hello. It's my pleasure to be here today. I'm very happy. And I will start talking about myself. My name is Adriana. I'm 45, will be 46 tomorrow, so it's a big milestone. And migrated to Australia 5 years ago with my family. Have 2 beautiful kids, wonderful husband, pretty busy life, but I love being here in Australia. It was the best decision we ever done, coming to live in this country. And I'm very excited for the day.
What are you most passionate about in life?
It's a difficult question. There's so many things I love, but the last few years for me, I'm more interested in personal development, like learning about yourself, especially as a woman, learning how your body works, how these hormonal changes throughout the years change your body, change your brain, change the way you perceive life. And I have been reading a lot. I have my personal project for reading 1 book per week this year. So I'm pretty much on schedule. So I have been learning a lot. It's very eye-opening for me, like all this learning, and I just love it.
Excellent. And so you research the subject of aging, and everyone knows that the age comes and we change. But what positive changes you've experienced with age?
Yeah, with age, there was a very good book I read about how the female brain works and how it changed throughout the years with the hormones. And it was kind of comforting for me to learn that everything I was feeling, like I was not being crazy, it was not just me. It's just like how it changed, how our brain perceives life after a certain age with changes. But for me, I love my age. I'm very proud of all these years, and I think the positive change that comes with age is like you being wise, and you really focus on what really matters in life. Like you narrow your friendships, your connections, your relationships to really like people who can give you something in your life,
with whom you have balance of giving and taking.
Yeah, exactly. I think having a supportive group, even if friends or colleagues, is so important for us. We can't live without connections, right? So.
And do you remember what was the book name or the author of this book?
I'm really bad with names, but the book, it's called The Female Brain. Mm-hmm. But it explains, throughout the phases of our lives, how does our brain, the hormones that are taking over in that age, how they change the way our brain works. Like, for example, when when you have kids, when you're pregnant, it changes completely, you know, like your perception for the world. It changes so much, you know. And after that, you develop these skills that you really need to take care of your child. And when they grow up, your brain changes again. So it's time to focus on yourself again, go after your goals, and try to live life again.
It's very interesting. I will try and find this book.
Yeah, it's really
I would like to read it as well. But what is the biggest challenge you're experiencing at this age?
Look, big challenge for me the last few months has been hormonal change and going through perimenopause and almost menopause. Although I'm still young for that, but it just came early for me, and it's something that I never thought about. You know, I think nobody thinks about that until it comes, and it changed so much. Like it changed so much. I thought I was going nuts, you know, and like even my marriage, my relationship with the kids, work, everything was just going up, falling apart. And I'm glad I looked for help. So I found a very good doctor, and this was the key. And luckily, I found that I was having some issues with my uterus, so I had to do like a surgery to remove a few cysts, which luckily came back benign. But was really challenged because I was not thinking about these health issues so young
before.
And then I start again reading a lot about and like perimenopause. It can come like from 2 years to 8 years before you actually reach menopause. So it's really challenging, but there's not much information about it, right? Exactly. It's really challenging for me at the moment, but keep going.
I'm going exactly through the same what you just described, and I didn't expect that it would come that early. And you know, what shall I do, and which doctor should I go? And you know, nobody seems to have a clue what's going on. Oh, it's just
normal.
It's normal. You're just getting old.
Exactly. Just so sick of hearing that. You know, it just like comes with age, but I think it's very important for us like to go after until you find someone who you can really trust, and the answers they give to you like feel that they are right?
And what is this doctor?
I've been seeing I found a very good GP here in Sydney, but she has this integrative approach. And with that, I mean that she looks not only for what your issues, right? But she looked for the root cause, the root cause, and she works on prevention of the disease. So she's not there just to treat, okay, I have this issue, okay, just take this and you're done. She looks for everything. Like she even like recommends books for me to read and places to go and movies to see.
Complex approach.
Yeah, it is. And then of course I had to see an endocrinologist. And the endocrinologist, we started hormonal replacement, and this was like best thing ever. So I feel so good again. Yeah, so it's like really key. Like so there is life after perimenopause and menopause. We just need to find the right direction, right?
Yeah. All right, let's move to something pleasant.
Oh, good.
And describe your greatest accomplishment.
Look, I think looking back on my life, I had a lot of small good accomplishments, but I truly believe that, you know, coming to Australia was something so big for the family, because I remember like packing the bags, and we decided to bring just the bags, right? So we have to get rid of everything we had. And so like to sum up your whole life in 9 bags, you know, the whole family, 9 bags was so challenging. And, you know, I was 41. My son was 1 year old when we moved. And, you know, I had a comfortable life. And even though we were like in a very good situation in Brazil, like we we decided to come because we were thinking about the future of our kids. So I think this was the most challenging and also the most rewarding thing we ever done.
So who was the initiator of this move?
Both my husband and I, because we lived here as students many years ago. He came to study and I came with him to study as well. And we decided to apply for the visa after we came back. And it took us 10 years. And meanwhile, we had the kids, we built careers over there. And we decided to come anyway.
Wow, it's a long wait on 10
It
years.
is. Yes.
So what advice would you give to 30-year-old self if you could meet her?
Oh, I thought about this question. It's such a good question. And I was trying to remember what I was doing when I was studying. So I would tell her to be kind and patient with herself, and really try to understand how your body and how your mind works, because this would make so much easier this transition, from being a woman and then being a mom and then trying to balance a career and have everything. And also don't give up in self-care and having time for yourself. I think is so important, because when you have time for yourself, you have a best version to give to the world, especially for your family.
Right, like today you're having...
Yeah, like today, like having time to do this project for me, was okay. I planned for that, so I organized the whole month, the whole week around it, so everything could go smoothly as possible. And yeah.
But what advice would you give to younger women who will eventually undergo these changes?
Yeah, I would say don't give up your goals so easily, because I remember I read this statement. I just don't remember who said that you can have it all, because we always heard that, oh no, women can't have it all. No, of course we can have it all. We just can't have it all at the same time. So we need to know our priorities. We need to focus on what's happening at the moment and which phase of our life we are, and enjoy each phase fully, right? Because sometimes we are getting older and then we just came back to the past so many times, but it won't come back, right? So you need to accept and embrace the changes and move forward, never backwards. So just keep going, and you will have time to do everything, just it won't happen at the same time.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I will take away this saying as well. It's amazing that how sometimes simple sayings, which are obvious, once you hear them, they make you inspired or motivated.
Yeah.
For me, it's very motivating. Like you can have it all, but not all
not
at the same
time. Yeah, and also I think we have to have a network of support, right? I think women need to support women, because we see so much, after we become a mom, there's so much things you see, when you start taking your kids to school, you see, this mom, you get labels, right? Oh, this is a working mom, this is a non-working mom, this is there's so many labels we receive, and I think we should be all supporting ourselves, because it's already so difficult to balance everything. And if you have this support, it's much easier for everyone. Yeah.
So where do you think the idea of perfect body image comes from?
Look, for my generation, I believe it probably came from the way we were raised, probably what our mothers told us as a child, or what we perceived, the challenges we had. But nowadays, for sure, it comes all from social media and all these ideal, ads of bodies. But I think we need to look at ourselves as we are, right? we can aim the impossible, or the, I think when we look more inside than the outside, is much easier to deal with your body. Or if you're not happy with your body, why do you want to change that? It needs to be like an internal motivation, and it needs to come from you and for you. Because if you're doing for someone, I think it's never worth it, because and usually we are harder with ourselves in terms like of body image, right?
We are the hardest critics of ourselves.
We are. And sometimes, like, you know, like people just don't care. But when you look at the mirror, you are so judging and you are so hard. Like you say things to yourself that you wouldn't say to your best friend, for example. You wouldn't say those things. And we need to be gentle and see, okay, if you want to change something, why you want to do that? Knowing why, I think it's more important than to do it, because when you know your whys, you have a better idea of, you know, why you want to do that, and yeah, it helps, I think.
Do you think it also depends on the culture or country where you're raised? Like, is it any difference? Can you say, like,
Yes.
for example, in Brazil or in Australia, it's two different body images, or it's the same? What do you think?
No, I think cultural differences are very. I think it has a great influence on how we see. Like, for example, I remember as a kid. Like in Brazil, like we are very open, like to talk about a lot of things, and other cultures, like you barely talk. Like, for example, I had to have a chat with my daughter about you know, like how her body will change with being a teenager, because she's already going through some changes, and I didn't have that from my mom, but. I think it makes such a difference, because when you know what's going to happen and you have this freedom to talk about it, I think it helps a lot. So, yeah.
To prepare.
Yeah,
to
prepare,
ready.
to understand what will happen, and you know, and how people are different as well. Like she was asking, we will have like. A big breast or a small breast, I don't know. Like people are different. Like there are many shapes and sizes, and they're all okay, because there is not a perfect thing, right? You need to be yourself. You will be yourself, and this is how you be. You need to learn how to love yourself for how you are, right?
Yeah, so it's probably very important when the kids get those talks with parents, you know, and because family forms a lot of views and self-perception, and how the kids that grow up with this ideas, you know, of themselves. The social media does have influence, but I think that primary, it's the family who helps either to take it serious, this social media opinion, or
I was showing her last weekend, you know, before and after photos with makeup, because I was telling her what I was going to do today, and I said, look, when you open Instagram, when you open, you know, like all these TikTok and things, people have been like putting up a lot of makeups plus all the filters they have. So let's look at some before and after. Look. Yeah. Anyone can look different with a makeup, with a filter, anything. So it's normal. Like people don't wake up like this every day, right? So we just need to understand that what we see in TV on social media, like it's something that was there was a background. There was like a lot of work before that for that image to be published, right? So yeah, and she understood. I hope so.
Right. What does it mean for you feeling good and looking good? What do you think comes first?
Definitely feeling good comes first, and for me is very important. I think when you feel good about yourself, like you can even like be like just in a jeans and a t-shirt, you feel amazing, right? Because I think there is I think somebody told me once, you know, when you feel good, there is a sparkle in our eyes that is like tell everyone that you're feeling so good, they're so confident that it doesn't matter the external, how you look like, because you're feeling so good that people can, see this energy coming from you. So definitely feeling good, I think, is the first step.
So what makes you feel the most beautiful?
I love shoes. If I have any high heels, I feel amazing. I feel amazing, yeah.
What is your favorite quote about being a woman, or saying maybe, or idea?
Yeah. I had so many quotes throughout the last few years, but I think the most appropriate one for these projects is that one quote by Coco Chanel, and she says that elegance is when your inside is as beautiful as your outside. It's like we were saying before, when you feel good, when you feel beautiful from inside, right? Your outside, everyone can pick up your good energy and how you feel.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, excellent. Thank you, Adriana. Thank you for your answers, and thank you for coming to joining our project.
Thank you so much.
I hope you will enjoy the photo shoot.
Can't wait.
Thanks a lot.
If you have an interesting story to share, we'd love for you to participate. You can email us on info@alexandrawalker.com, and that's Alexandra spelled with a KS, or visit our website alexandrawalker.com.